Before I begin, I'd like everybody to look around. Look past the people you know. Please. Ask yourself, who might be next? It's a morbid thought, and I'm truly sorry to ask you to do that. I ask you to think about that reality for just a second, not to try and scare you, but to help you understand my story. You see, 4 years ago, I was serving at a Relay for Life at the University of Minnesota. Little did I realize I was about to discover what a horrible battle with cancer can really be. The following Monday, after the Relay for Life event, I awoke to chest pains. Now, honestly, I'd been having these kind of pains off and on for a couple of months, but this morning was very different. After dropping my then 3-year-old daughter at preschool, and I told my then girlfriend, Erin, I think I need to go to urgent care right now. Upon arriving, I collapsed in the lobby. An EKG showed that there was no heart attack, but clearly something was wrong. They sent me to the ER where they did an X-ray. A mass was found. The mass was growing between my heart and left lung, which explained the coughing and chest pains. But by the time it was detected, it had grown to the size of a large eggplant. The medical team discovered I had a mediastinal germ cell tumor. In layman's terms, I had testicular cancer in my chest. I always thought I had a ballsy heart. It's the same cancer that Lance Armstrong had, but if you can call it luck, unlike his where it was all over his body, mine just decided to stick together in my chest and have one big party. Woo, lucky me. Over the next 5 months, I would go through 4 rounds of chemotherapy and 1 partial sternoctomy, like big chest surgery, to remove whatever cancer there might be left. At that point, we all hoped it would be enough. I was confident it would be. I thought, I'm going to beat this thing. I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm strong. If anybody can do it, it's me. FYI, one nice thing about cancer, or one positive you can pull from cancer, is that it cuts out the gray in your life. You realize quickly what you want and what you don't want. Well, I wanted Erin. So after my second round of chemo, even being bald and kind of sickly, I proposed. Luckily, she said yes. 6 weeks after surgery and 2 weeks after my now wife, Erin, and I got married, we sat in the doctor's office awaiting the great results we just knew he was going to tell us. Cancer-free. We were confident we had survived the worst of it, and I talked about how I was going to go up and personally thank every care provider and nurse. I was just going to hug them. I was going to hug everybody. That was going to be my new thing. Sadly, I didn't get that chance. Our doctor informed us that the cancer was still there. A CT scan revealed 4 spots equating to 4 new tumors. And due to the nature of the cancer, it was growing rapidly. Still in shock, I heard him say, the next step is to try some salvage chemo, hinder the cancer's growth, and keep you alive as long as we can. Trust me, you never want to hear the term salvage chemo sitting next to your spouse 14 days. I looked the doctor in the eye and I asked him, we're going to beat this thing, right? The blank expression and unknowing look in his eyes was one of the most frightening things I saw in my battle with cancer. After a couple of days of reflection and research, we opted, via our doctor's advice, to go to Indianapolis and see Dr. Lawrence Einhorn, one of the leading doctors in this field and in this type of cancer. There we learned of a relatively new procedure in New York City involving a triple stem cell transplant and a lot of high-dose chemotherapy. This offered a 20% chance of survival. Not great odds, but they were the best chance we had. So just before Thanksgiving 2011, we left our home for what would be a 4-month stay in New York. Now, living in New York City is no easy feat. The cost of living alone was something we had no idea if we could manage. And if you think Disney World is pricey, you should look into Manhattan. Without affordable housing, we knew this treatment would be beyond our financial reach. Luckily, the hospital knew of a place, the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge in New York City, for free. Eighth-floor apartment, Midtown Manhattan, with all the amenities at no cost to us. The Hope Lodge not only provided amazing lodging, but it regularly offered meals, events, and various alternative treatments to supplement our comfort while we were going through treatments, such as like Reiki and massage. We met people from all over the world going through the same thing. We had community, we bonded. We were aided by the most wonderful and compassionate staff and volunteers. The Hope Lodge offered us a place of respite and comfort in an overwhelming city at an overwhelming time. It was truly life-saving. Our fight over the next 4 months was grueling. It tested our spirit, our strength, and our fortitude. Many times I longed for home. Many times I cried, wishing to see my family, longing to see my 4-year-old daughter. The treatment left me emaciated, hairless, and with a hearing loss in both ears, for which I now use hearing aids. But we made it. And it could never have been possible without the American Cancer Society and the Hope Lodge. When we came back from New York, it had been 11 months from my first diagnosis. It took a number of months to recover, but now, 4 years, 4 months, and 12 days from when I first met that eggplant-sized tumor, I stand before you a cancer-free survivor. Cancer has taken a lot from me. It took away time from my daughter. It took away my ability to hear, some of my ability to hear. It took away my ability to father more children. But I learned more, lived more, and loved more than I dare say most do in a lifetime. But most importantly, I realized the power of people banding together, like all of you are doing in your communities and at your events worldwide. I saw what the power of the human spirit can do in spite of cancer. I stand here today against great odds, against a seemingly impossible battle. I stand here today because of you, because of the great work the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life communities do. I would not be here without the American Cancer Society and the Hope Lodge, without the fundraising, without the love, plain and simple. Cancer is still around. We still have to fight. But I know that with every relay event, with every donation, we are that much closer to winning, to having a world where cancer doesn't steal another life, a world with more birthdays. The work that the American Cancer Society does is real. What the Relay for Life movement does is real. It is an on-the-ground impact in our fight against cancer. The fundraising, the donations, information, research, the hard work that happens daily all over the country by the American Cancer Society volunteers and their staff is real. It's real because it's given people like me a place to stay free of financial burden, so that we could receive the treatment needed to save our lives. Work like yours saved my life, and it has amazingly given me a chance to see my daughter grow up. And for that, I can't say thank you enough. Speaking of thanks, the Hope Lodge wasn't just important to me, but for my whole family. I have one more person who would like to say thank you.
My name is Gabby, and I was 4 when my dad got cancer. I was scared because I was worried that my dad won't make it, but he did. Thank you for giving my dad a home at the Hope Lodge.
It's because of you. Every dollar that you raise, every lap that you walk, every friend that you will bring to a relay event means more progress is being made, and that more people like me are able to survive cancer. The incredible things you've done for Relay for Life are the reason I get to go home and see that beautiful girl and say, I love you. And by continuing to do great things through Relay for Life each and every year, you are going to create countless more stories of survival like mine. You've made an impact. We've made progress. I'm proof. I'm living, breathing proof. Let's keep this going. Keep fighting together. Thank you.